Thank you for joining me again this week on Cooking with Dan Lizzie. My name is Janet Rapasardi-Hoff. I'll be your host on this evening's show. And Dan, how you doing?
Fine, Janet. How you doing?
Good.
Hi, Greg.
Hi.
So,
what have we got going?
I don't know.
Oh.
Spring is in the air.
I'll tell you.
The golf clubs are getting cleaned.
I believe
before the lawnmower is brought out. I think the clubs are getting clean, checking on the equipment, making sure we're okay. We were going to, since it is spring and the strawberries are on their way out, the asparagus is coming into bloom, and the daffodils. Spring is in the air.
And the tulips.
The tulips.
Premature.
The squirrels are grouping together. We were going to do a couple things with some strawberries. We were going to make a little pasta dish. We were going to show you how we did these oven-dried tomatoes. And I guess we can get it going, right?
Okay.
I guess we'll try some of these strawberries first. The strawberries are very difficult at times to get them where they're super sweet. You're just dream. It's that one, oh God, these strawberries are so wonderful. I always get them at that. But I'm telling you, it's tough stuff to get it together. And, you can do 1,000,001 things with them. You can serve them with fresh fruit, eat them by themselves, chocolate dip them. But many times it's tough because it can be disappointing that the strawberries aren't, perfect where you wanted them and stuff. Some of the fruit, I had a fruit salad about a week or two ago. I'm telling you, I thought I was eating the plastic display somebody would have. None of the fruit, it was a nightmare. So it's tough. But this is just a little variation on the strawberries where it comes with a little bit of a sauce we're going to make with it. We're going to sweeten it up a little bit for you, and hopefully poach these strawberries into a syrup that doesn't resemble something you'd buy frozen in a, how you take the frozen strawberries out of the bag and it's in kind of a liquid and that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, we don't want to bring it to that point. We want to sweeten them a little bit, break them down a little bit, and yet while you're eating them, putting them over some ice cream or mixing them with some other types of fruit, you still feel that they're al dente a little bit. They're rigid and that they're fresh. They've got that fresh look. So let me get that going. I guess the first thing we want to do is we're going to make a little simple syrup in our pan here. We're going to mix some water and sugar together, reduce that. While we're doing that, I'll slice the strawberries up. And by the way, these strawberries here, we got them at one of the local markets, supermarkets. And they're just bland. They're kind of hard and they're not sweet, but they're selling them. They're all, look at them there, they're pretty and red, and we just want to help them out a little bit, and still have that fresh strawberry feeling. I love strawberries.
Oh, I do too.
All right, so what we're going to do is add some sugar here. How much sugar? I don't know. It's all according to your taste, but believe me, you can add a little bit more than you may think. We're going to reduce it with some water. So I'm going to add a little sugar to the pan. That looks like enough there.
And the sugar you're adding to a dry pan.
Yeah, I could have put the water in first. Basically, we're just going to mix them together and whip them on down. And when we do this, we're going to, when we put the strawberries in this pan, the strawberries do give up a lot of their water.
Oh, right.
So we're going to reduce this and thicken this up here, almost to the point that you'll wonder how this amount of liquid could work with that amount of strawberries. It doesn't seem like there's enough syrup, but it's incredible. When you put a lid on them and let them just simmer for a second, they just give it up quick.
The strawberry has a lot of water content in and of itself.
Right. And what we do like to do is to take one or two of these strawberries and maybe just crush it up a little bit. I just want to make sure that this syrup is going to have a deep red color. It will, but I'm always a little bit paranoid about that, so I'll try to break a couple up in there in the pan. You can roll them up in crepes, put them on pound cake, have them plain. The main thing is you like to hit them on the spot. We're going to hopefully help you out, and this is very easy to do, and I'm sure some of the ladies at home have done this already. So I guess while we're reducing the berries, I'm going to prepare the strawberries. Reducing the syrup, rather. So what's going on?
Actually, that's turning a little pink as it is already.
Right.
Yeah, it's turning.
So we're going to attempt to get these, we don't want to make them too small because they'll just turn into mush. We want to have them a little, we want to get them similar sized if we can. That one there I don't even want to cut, I don't think. This one here is a little weird. couple I've sliced already. That one we'll leave whole, this one, and try to get everything similar sized if you can. So have you been out doing any gardening? Rumor has it you're taking a few golf lessons there, Janet.
I was going to say not gardening, but I went down to the golf place yesterday, and yeah, I think it looks like there are quite a few people that are convincing me to do that. So.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's also a very humbling game.
That's what I understand as well.
Yes, yes. It's great, though, you know.
I was told the first few lessons aren't even on the course, so
oh, please,
whether
right.
that's good or whether that's scary.
Yeah, I know, and it's tough stuff. Everybody's got their own opinion about this stuff. To make sure you get it from a professional, not somebody like me. Listen to these amateurs telling you what to do. My gosh, talk about half a knowledge being worse than no knowledge at all. Never is it truer than on the golf course. Unbelievable. Put your hand here, move the ball up, take the thing back, quit, play checkers. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we were thinking about you yesterday. I said, I wonder if Dan's out today. It was so nice. It was almost 70 degrees, and I thought he's got to be out.
Right, right. No. We were in here at Luzzie's Fun City.
Oh, no.
And trying to get it all together. Well, there, I think these strawberries are all similarly sized. You know, not exact, but let's see how this, you see how this water and this sugar is starting to reduce a little bit, come together. We're getting the jump on the syrup. Yeah, I went out and got one of these bad boys here, Janet. Got one of these
there you go.
big Bertha jobs. Man, I'm telling you, I am proof positive that you cannot buy a game. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. All I do hit this longer left and longer right. That's about all I've done with it. I'm telling you, I'm going to take this back to the guy that sold it to me and whack him with it, I think. I'm telling you. It's a big troublemaker. I'm better off using a wedge off the tee, a wedge and a putter. I think we'd all score a little bit better, you know? Get these big sticks. Forget about it. Forget about it.
So what's the golf tip of the day?
No golf tip.
Today.
Right there. The golf tip for today is go get some lessons. And if that doesn't work, take up tiddlywinks. Boy, actually, we were out there playing the other day, and a friend of mine, he had to hook the ball around a corner. And I used to caddy over at Rockaway River down in Denville, where the venerable old pro Joe Dente had been down there for a number of years. But he said a very important thing, that when you wanted to move the ball from right to left or left to right, he said to put the club on the ground, and if you wanted to move it right to left, to hood, you know, turn the toe in.
Oh, really?
Then put your hands on it after it's already in, right, and, you know, try to figure out where you're going to move them. The same thing if you wanted to move it from left to right. He said to open the face of the club and then grip the thing. Too many of us grab it and just fan it open a little bit like that, and, you know, by the time you swing at it, you're back in your usual position. Yeah, you can't manufacture it with your hands, you know. But that was a very important thing he taught me. Seeing this, I'm in the woods more times than not, it's been a great thing for me, let me tell you. I've used it often. But you can see that syrup is kind of coming down a little bit. There's still some a little too much liquid there, and I would like it a little syrupy, you know. And how much sugar to add, how much water, you'd have to feel your way along. But if you got some of these strawberries that you're going, my Lord, they're pretty, but they're like bricks, this is something you might want to try. It's great, you know. But as we're finishing these, it'll be very important, because in 2 seconds flat, you'll turn these, you'll be wondering why you just didn't buy a bag of frozen strawberries in the supermarket and, you know, in the liquid that they have. But if you really are careful with them, you can have a nice little syrup and sweet tasting. People be saying, where'd you get these strawberries? You know, you don't have to tell them you've had them in the sugary syrup. Boy, let me tell you, this stuff gets hot. Woo, boy.
I can see those bubbles. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Forget it. You get this on your fingers, you'll be...
got more bubbles in there than Mr. Bubble does.
You'll be giving me a nasty phone call. Dan, I hate you and your whole family.
Oh, now let's not bring the family into this.
That's right. That's all I need. You can still see it's very liquidy,
Right.
and it is disappearing. How are we doing now? Yeah, it's kind of syrupy. It's getting there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see how it's come into itself. I'm going to go even a little more, but you know, that isn't, actually I better watch it because that's a decent amount of strawberries. I'll try it now, okay? So this is the important part. Of course, you have to wash your strawberries before you do anything with them and get the little stemmies off.
Ooh, it smells good.
Yeah, it brings the flavor out. All right, now I don't want to get involved in all what high heat, low heat, and all this stuff. I prefer high heat because I want this finished as rapidly as possible. And we are going to use a lid for this. So what you have to do, in my opinion, is get them all coated, get the temperature back up in the pan, and then put your lid on the top. And stir it every now and then to get the top ones down to the bottom where most of the heat of the pan is. But it's incredible. You're going to leave these, and then if all of a sudden you turn around and you say to yourself, these berries are still too hard, you can just turn the pan on a little bit more and break them down a little more. You don't want to try to hit this exact. All right, now this is moving again, right? It's bubbling along, right? The heat of the pan is there. Want to get the temperature back up because the berries, of course, were at room temperature. So we want to get the temperature of the pan back to where we want it. You can see already there's a little more liquid happening. And you know, they are a little bit sweet, these berries. All right, here we go. I'm just going to put that lid on there and turn this flame off. Okay, I'm going to set them over here and see how that works out. Hopefully I won't butcher them like I've done a few other dishes on this show. All right, I guess we can get going on the second item we were going to prepare today, and that was with oven-dried tomatoes. I've taken these plum type tomatoes here, and we were going to slice them in half and take out the seeds and the pulp on the inside. Actually, the pulp is the meat, right? What would you call the liquid with the seeds that holds the seeds in there? I'm not even quite sure what it is. It's that liquidy type stuff. That. And, but I've had trouble with this because certain dishes we've been doing, unless you have those Jersey tomatoes right at in the middle of summer, it's very tough to get tomatoes that are like these strawberries, that they aren't bricks. They're pretty looking and everything. They just don't have it together. And you're cooking them with dishes and there's skin and seeds and everything else. And then the other one is the sun-dried tomatoes.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with sun-dried tomatoes should be beaten with a rubber hose, in my opinion. I'm telling you, I can't take it. It tastes, I mean, it's like I took the cover off a baseball, sautéed it a little bit, and attempted to chew on it. I mean, I can't, some people really like them a lot. I can't stand them. They're just, so shriveled up and whatnot. It's like, I need to work on my teeth with a toothpick for about an hour and a half after eating those doggone things. And the flavor to me is very, very pronounced. It's like bell peppers. I feel like they really can take a dish into a certain direction. And sometimes you do want to do that. But what we like to do are these, we try to oven dry these tomatoes. We'll cut them in half and take the seeds out. We could season them, but many times when we do toss them with a pasta dish and whatnot, we season them again. So we just basically want to dry them. We put them in the oven on low for a while and leave them overnight with just a pilot light working on them. I'll get to those in a second. Let's see if I'm butchering these berries. No, this pan is hot. You can see, Janet. See, there's still a lot of heat in the pan. The strawberries are still very hard. Right. And we're just going to move them around a little bit. That's all. Leave them out here, and I think this is going to work out nicely. But here's what we'll do with the tomatoes. We're basically just going to cut them in half, and I do have a spoon over here and a little bowl, and we're just going to take the insides out, and we're going to dry them in the oven. Then they soften up, and what they do is they lose a lot of their moisture and stuff, and they soften up, and they're workable, they're pliable, they're great for color and for taste. They've got that, they're meatier. They're not totally dried out, but they've lost a lot of that water and rigidity, but yet they're flavorful, and they're just a really neat thing. But I feel like it's a real tweener in between the sun-dried tomatoes and these fresh tomatoes that we try to toss and do stuff with. And unless you, like I said, unless you got the tomatoes right at the peak of the season, you know, they're tough. They're hard to work with, you know. So all we're going to do is take the insides out of the tomatoes, and we'd set them on a tray. And, you know, you get them like that. We're going to leave the skins on them. And we'd put them in the oven for a while on low, and then we left them overnight. And we happen to have some that we did do last night. Let me take them out of here. All right.
Oh, that's great.
So we love tossing these in pasta dishes, and thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So you can see the skin is still there. You can see that we took the seeds out, of course. We went over that before. Nothing like repeating yourself, Dan. And we're going to take the little nip off the end there, where the stem happens. But you can see that they've lost a lot of their moisture. They're supple. They're workable. They've got color. They've got a little bit of stewiness to them, but like I said, they're much drier. They're much drier. We can work with these and toss them with pastas and serve them without feeling like we have to cook them down and break them down and that sort of thing. And like I said, they've got a certain suppleness that I feel that the sun-dried tomatoes it's very tough to get, you know?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think a lot of people, and I do this as well, if you buy the sun-dried tomatoes, we're trying to plump them up and get them to this consistency.
Right.
So this is the better way to go.
Oh, these strawberries are doing wonderful. See how they're giving up a lot of their liquid now. The syrup is a little looser, you know. But once it cools off, it'll work out. And like I say, if you go and try them, you can always reheat it a little bit. You know, you want to miss it on the short side, just like the putts. You want to miss them on the high side, the pro side. Alrighty. Well, I was going to try a pasta dish with those tomatoes. We had some asparagus. Asparagus is in season right now. And you can put, you know, all we wanted to do was toss this with a little oil and some garlic. A lot of times the people aren't sure how the heck to get these pasta dishes together, and without having marinara sauce, cream sauces, butters, and how you handle basically all we wanted to do is wet this a little bit, you know, and flavor it, and basically eat pasta and vegetables with some flavor. Yet you need the oil, which is flavorful also, as a neutral type of thing to spread around the seasoning and get it where the pasta isn't all sticking all together. I'm saying if you not wanted to have a high-calorie thing and a lot of sauce,
right, exactly.
You can do 1,000,001 things. We just happen to choose some asparagus, mushrooms, artichokes, and these oven-dried tomatoes. I mean, we have baby peas. You can put Bermuda onions. Toss Parmesan cheese. You can do whatever you want it to do, but we wanted to keep it simple with the flavors and you minimize the herbs and let the garlic and the oil and the pasta and the vegetables do their thing. So I guess I can get started on that, right? So we're going to put a little pan on. We're going to slice we're going to sliver the garlic up, and we're going to lightly brown it. And you can eat this garlic, you know, we'll brown it up, not to where it's real crunchy and whatnot, and it'll be slivered up so you don't feel like you're biting into some huge clump of elephant garlic, you know. You'll have bad breath for about 4 days. I guess I'll move the berries over here. How are they doing now? I guess I have to pinch a couple of them to see how we're doing. That's how you can tell.
Oh, really?
I might have to give this a shot. But you get the idea, folks. We got a little syrup working with the water and the sugar.
The syrup looks good.
Right, and we got the berries in there, and we want to keep them as whole. You want that fresh berry look, so if you're not sure, keep them on the short side, and be careful if you do turn it back on again. You don't need much heat to make this work. So we'll put these off to the side. We can't do the whole show with you guys here. We'll take a look at them later to see if they came down anymore, okay? So what I'm going to do is get a little oil in this pan and start getting the garlic going. Well, one thing I had forgotten to mention, is many times people are doing these pasta dishes especially, and the asparagus is cooked already. The oven-dried tomatoes are, they're already dried. They're cured. The mushrooms, you can eat them raw. The artichokes, the same thing. We've cut them down to a more petite size. That's my preference. But the main thing is, all we're going to do, you want to get a lot of these things to room temperature. You don't want to feel like you've got a pot going with, here's your asparagus, perfect. Here's this. We cook the mushrooms off like you're doing 9,000 things and you got 14 pots to put this together. Okay. You know, if you got this stuff all together ahead of time, all you really need to do is to toss it with the pasta and the oil. All we want to do is make sure that the plate is reasonably hot, the pasta is very hot, and the oil is hot that we sauteed the garlic in. Don't worry about the vegetables. And if you wanted to toss shrimp with this, cook the shrimp off like cocktail shrimp.
Oh.
Or chicken, saute it off, grill it, whatever you want to do. Slice it up a little bit so it works, and have the chicken sitting there. Toss it at the end. And this way you'll be saying, man, I'm getting good at this sort of thing. You know, you start to cook the chicken, toss the pasta in the same thing, the asparagus, isn't it still hot? Come on, quick, quick, quick. You know, you don't want to just leave it at room temperature. A lot of people don't believe in that, and they think that, you know, bubonic plague is going to happen if something sits out for more than 15 minutes. And that's not, there's no truth to that. You just don't want to abuse having things. You don't want the chicken sitting out on the counter for the afternoon in 80-degree weather. We don't want to do that. To have vegetables out here for a half an hour or so getting to room temperature, you know, there's no problem with that. Okay, so I want to bring this garlic, even though we're going to sliver it up, I'm going to try to bring it along slowly. So I want to get it going into a little light oil here. And I'm going to finish the dish with some nice virgin olive oil. Okay, I like how that tastes at room temperature also. I don't want to get it on a high heat. And I guess I might as well get some linguine. I want to cook some linguine with this. So let's see, I'm going to have to time this, am I not? How quickly will that linguine cook? I guess we can get it in right away. This dish does go pretty quickly. Had some good days for golf already though, right, Janet? It's been nice out there.
Yeah, it has been nice.
So what's the story? Is Greg going to outfit you with the Callaway, graphite, super, ultra, wide head clubs?
We'll have to take a look. I have an old set, so we'll see whether I can use it or not. And I guess
incredible.
We'll go from there.
It's incredible. They have so many things out there. I'm surprised they just don't come out and hit the ball for you.
But I'm beginning to realize that to get outfitted properly is.
Oh please! I'm telling you. You get some of those telephone numbers.
Before you even start trying
forget
to
about
play
it.
golf.
Forget about it. Yeah, you better, I think Greg's going to encourage you to try a couple of these old relics before you start, see if you like the game a little bit, right? Before we start investing into some of this equipment. I'm telling you, some of these clubs are incredible.
Oh, well, the graphites are, well, they're nice, and they're so lightweight compared to some of the older ones, though.
Oh, you know that. Some of these things feel like you're picking up an anchor on the end of a stick. It's incredible, yeah. I know. So I guess I should get the old garlic sliced. We're going to slice it nice and thin. Again, this is your own preference.
You know we love that garlic.
That's right.
Lots of garlic.
I'll kick it up a little bit for you guys. Kick it up. Listen to me. I'm picking up Emerald's. Happy, happy, happy. He's got it going, that guy, doesn't he?
I'll tell you.
He's something else.
Oh, I don't know, Dan. I don't think there's really any difference between you and... You
sure.
You know what? You need a phrase.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
Eat out often.
We'll have to think.
Yeah, we'll have to work on that, our catchphrase.
Okay.
4. That'll be our catchphrase here. All right, I think that's enough garlic to work a pasta dish, right?
That's good.
Pasta for one. Hopefully I don't, got a little sizzle in the pan here. Not much. Don't want to burn it, you know, I just want to brown it along nice. Get it where you feel like you can eat the garlic. How's our pasta doing here? I love linguine, especially if it's al dente.
Yeah, al dente.
Yeah, you get that nice imported stuff, nice and al dente. Oh boy, I'm telling you, I think it's great. You get some of this stuff, you have to rinse it in about a gallon of water just to get the schlurg, if you would, off the outside of it. How's our little berries doing? I think they're good. I think this is what, you know, you serve this, little syrup, little vanilla there, over the pound cake, or if you're, you know, you know how to do these angel food type cakes and whatnot, you know.
I was just going to say that. That's something that a lot of nutritionists are pushing lately. If you want dessert, get the angel food cake and pour something like fresh berries and their own juice on top of it.
Right.
You can't beat that.
Right. This is, you know, because a lot of times you just don't know what the heck to do with it. You don't want to put strawberry jelly on there for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And you'd want the fresh strawberry look. I think you're getting the best of both worlds here. If you can get around the fact that there's a little sugar in there, we faked him out a little there. A little sugar. Just don't give away your little trade secret at the luncheon. So like I said, I've got a little bit of oil to get the thing working. Because you get our pasta dish, our lovely linguine. It is a type of primavera. There's vegetables and pasta. The only difference is there's not 9 quarts of oil or 10 tons of tomatoes. How's our pasta doing here? We don't want to get crazy with the al dente. I'll get a plate ready, I guess. Go for one of our larger types. But I love those tomatoes, I'll tell you. Those oven-dried tomatoes, I think they're wonderful. You know, they're great for color, too, you know. I don't want to feel like to get color. I feel like if I put these bell peppers in continually, I feel like they take, like the sun-dried tomatoes, they take the dish over.
They do.
You know, it's one thing if you want to put them on a big chop or something like that. You know, something that can stand up to this kind of flavors, scallions and sun-dried tomatoes and things of that nature. But if you want to get a petite little dish and you're trying to get a little color into it and whatnot, I don't see putting some of these harsh ingredients in there. You'll never taste something like the mushrooms or something, or asparagus, you know. It'll be, the flavor will be masked. All right, I think we're looking pretty good here. I guess we can finish the dish. We got the pastas on the al dente side for sure. So I guess what we'll do is we'll toss a few veggies in. I guess we'll put them all in, right?
Oh, that's good.
We'll get them a little hot. We're not going to actually cook them, but we want to get them to some sort of temperature. Turn up the pan just a hair. And that garlic, see the little slivers, they're little crunchy brown slivers. It's going to taste delicious. And you can add a lot of things, but I mean, how many flavors are you going to put in one dish, you know? All right, I'm going to add just a little salt. Going to add some pepper. I've got a little balsamic vinegar brought out here. I'm just going to put a little touch in there for a little backdraft. I don't want to take the dish over. I want the garlic and oil to do the talking.
Nice.
Add some oil, but not too much. We just wanted to have enough to get the linguine working. And those tomatoes, they're a pretty color. There's no seeds, no skins. Mm-mm. All right, let's put it on the plate and see what we have. I'll put the pasta down first, I guess. And I'm not adding any Parmesan to this. I mean, you can do that, put some on the top if you'd like, a pepper mill. And there should be just enough oil to keep the linguine separate. We got a good balance of color here. I don't think there's an abundance of oil and sauce and whatnot.
No.
And we've got some nice color contrasts, some mellow type flavors that I think will work together nicely. Move the tomatoes around a little bit, balance the dish, and there it is, just a simple Primavera pasta. A little touch of garlic and oil and balsamic vinegar.
Hi folks, well here we are, just ready to dine again. As Dan knows, this is the favorite time of the evening for me. A couple of dishes, very, very easy, very, very light, keeping spring in mind, and the fact that we don't want to spend too much time in the kitchen because we need to go out and golfing and perfect our golf swing.
That chip and a button going, that's right.
Yeah, Dan, take it away.
Yeah, we did our strawberries. A little bit of sugar in the syrup, and yet you can see that they're plump, they're rigid, al dente if you would. They're not totally mushed out, but yet we went over that in the kitchen. And this is that pasta primavera, little garlic and oil, and a little touch of balsamic vinegar. Keep it on the dry side if you can. And if it seemed a little dry to you, drizzle a little more oil and a touch of vinegar on it. You know, you want to keep it on the short side, keep the fat content low. You don't want to be able to make that big turn, you know. But that's about it, Janet.
Okay. Again, thank you very much for joining us this evening. My name is Janet Rappasordi-Hoff. This has been Cooking with Dan Lezzi. Keep it safe and happy, and we'll see you next week.